Hey, that's me, Hawkeye, from New Country 96.3 KSCS in Dallas-Fort Worth. And I'm going to give you 5 ways to promote your morning show that cost you absolutely nothing, and it starts right now. One thing you may be thinking is, well, wait a second. You're a major market morning show. You're in Dallas-Fort Worth. You probably have a couple of different producers, a huge staff. It's just me and my partner where we're at. We don't have a staff like you do. There's no way we can do what you do. Well, to be honest, we don't have a large staff at all. It's just me and my co-host, Michelle Rodriguez. And we compete and beat shows that are much larger than ours and have much more people to help them out. So if we can do it, you folks can do it. The other thing is, if you are a major market morning show, you probably do 4 of these things already. But the 5th thing is the most important of all. And I was shocked how many morning shows don't do this, and it's the most important thing of all. And by the way, I was one of those morning shows too who didn't do it for a long time. So let's start off with number 1 of the 5 things you can do to promote your morning show. Number 1, get a logo for your show, because your logo is going to brand everything that you do. And I know you may think this isn't really that important, but it actually is. Think of your radio station. They've got a logo, and they brand everything they do. Your morning show needs to brand everything you do. Every piece of audio that you send out, any video that you make, any picture you send out on social media, it should be branded with your logo. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, that's great and everything, but we have no budget. And I thought you said this was all going to be free. How can we get a logo for free? Well, there's 2 ways you can do it. One, if you've got a webmaster, you can ask him to help you. Secondly, and this may be the better path, you can actually make your own logo. There's a program out there called iPicky.com, and it's super easy to use. It's not an endorsement. I just really like it. And I've actually have made another video. There's a link to it in our show notes here on this YouTube video on how to make a logo, so you can go there and do that. But let's look at some of the different logos here for different morning shows. Obviously, Hawkeye in the Morning's a real morning show, but can you recognize which ones are ones that I made with iPicky? Well, if you know, Golick and Wingo are on ESPN, and Heidi and Frank are on KLOS in Los Angeles, Mojo in the Mornings in Detroit. But the Breakfast Flakes and Jim and Jackie are a couple of logos that I made using iPicky. So it's really not that difficult. You don't have an excuse. You really need to get a logo for your show. It's easy to make, and you want to brand everything you do. Number 2, get a publicity photo of your show. Now, you might be saying, well, once again, I don't have a budget for this. We just have a couple of people on our show. Well, you don't really even need a budget for a publicity photo anymore. First of all, your iPhone takes fantastic photos. But secondly, if you don't have someone who could take professional photos for you, perhaps go through your archive of photos you've had at different events, and maybe you can find a great candid photo of you and your partner or your team together. Here's a picture of Michelle Rodriguez, my partner, and I. We actually took this at a radiothon. We love the photo so much, we actually used it as our publicity photo for a while. So it's really simple to do. Just find a photo, because you want people to identify with you. They love you on the radio. They're going to want to find out what you look like. Get yourself a publicity photo. Number 3, post content from your show. Let's say you had a great interview with someone like Garth Brooks. They called your show to promote something, and you aired that at your most listened to time slot, 7:35. There's probably more people who didn't hear it than did hear it. That interview, or maybe a great bit of yours, should be put on a podcast. Now, if you're saying, well, unfortunately, our station won't pay for podcasts, then I suggest you create a YouTube channel. Those are absolutely free. You'll have total control of it, and you could post your audio there. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's a video channel. Well, there are some great apps like Headliner where you can make videos of your content absolutely free. Headliner is super easy to use. You get to make 4 free videos per person per month, and you can make a video with your logo. There's our logo right there. Here's a video we made of our own Michelle Rodriguez when she wrote a letter to prison to Joe Exotic and got a letter back. Here's us talking about it on the air, and you can see it creates a waveform, and you can create a YouTube video. You can also create a video from Headliner to post on Facebook or Twitter or your Instagram stories, wherever you like. It's super adaptable. It's free to use. So there's 2 free ways for you to post your content. You can use Headliner, and you can post it for free on your own YouTube channel that you can make. Number 4, after you post this content, you need to make sure you share content from your show. If you've got a great bit that everybody's talking about, make sure you post it on your Facebook page. You know, most people actually use Facebook between 6 at night till 9 at night. So why not post a bit from your show during those hours and try to recycle that audience at night to listen to your show in the morning. Post it on Twitter. Post it on your Instagram stories. Have the other members of your show post it on their social media sites. Does your station have an email blast every week? We post 2 bits every week on our station's email blast. Does your station have a website? Make sure you post it there. If we've got a great bit, we put it on the front page of our station website. And here's another idea. Maybe you had a great Christmas bit that people talk about every year. Why not post during Christmas time on your social media sites some great Christmas bits that you did in years past that people are still talking about? The most important thing, though, is if you've got great interviews, great bits, and people are talking about it, you need to make sure that folks who didn't hear it on the radio get a chance to hear it on their social media sites and on your website. You need to share that content from your show. Number 5, the most important one of all, and kind of shocking because most morning shows don't do this, including mine for a long time. But before we get to it, I want you to do a quick little exercise. I want you to Google your name or the name of your show and your radio station. So I'll do it here. I'll just type in Hawkeye and I'll type in KSCS. And what comes up first? It's your web page on your station's site. 99% of the time, that's what's going to come up first. You may already have a great website for your morning show that has nothing to do with your radio station. It doesn't matter. The number one thing that's going to come up more often than not is your web page on your station's website. I bring this up because recently I saw a story about someone in another market who went number 1 in their day part in less than 6 months. And I wanted to find out more about them. So I Googled their name and I Googled their radio station. And their station webpage came up. So I clicked on it, and all that was there was a picture of them and their time frame. It told me nothing about their show. And then I thought, well, what's on my station webpage? Because I've never really Googled it. I know we've got a webmaster. I'm sure he's taking care of it. This is what was on my station webpage. It wasn't much better at all. It's got my time slot. It has my logo. But it doesn't even have a picture of me. It does have the request line. You could see it there in the lower right-hand corner. And it has a way you can contact the 2 people on the show. But it doesn't say anything about who's on the show, any information about who they are. It doesn't give us any information about what we do on the show. There's no content posted on the page. Nothing. Now, in defense of our webmaster, this may be the same situation at your radio station. He has 7 different morning shows on 7 different radio stations that he has to take care of, plus web pages for all the other personalities on the 7 different radio stations, plus all the other content on 7 different websites. So your morning show page probably isn't a top priority. But if there's somebody out there who likes your show and wants to find out more about your show and the personalities on it, they're going to Google your name and Google your radio station, and they're going to come across this page first. And more likely than not, that's what they're going to click on. So here's somebody who wants to be a super fan of yours, and this is all the information they're going to find out about your show. That's why it's important, even if you have your own website, to update the page on your station's website, because more often than not, that's where listeners are going to go to find out more information about you and your show. So what can you do about this? Well, you can go up to your station's webmaster and say, hey, can I update my own page? Can you teach me how to do that? First of all, it's actually pretty simple to do nowadays because everything's kind of templated. And secondly, more likely than not, he's going to be very happy for you to do this because it takes it off his plate. And if you do learn how to do it, you can update it all the time. Now, here's what our webpage looks like now. You can see there's the logo at the top, and it has my name and Michelle Rodriguez's name, and there's a couple of photos about what we look like. You can scroll down and you see links to our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, obviously. Ways to contact us via email. A short bio on both Michelle and I. We also actually, by the way, have our own web pages also, so for longer bios. And then you come to this part. And this is a way for you to contact us there. Also, we have a link to our YouTube channel that we made. We have a link to our Best of Hawkeye in the Morning podcast. A link to our online store, and then our most popular feature is our second date update, so you can click on that and go to our podcast. You can click on that also. You can see how to get on second date update. We also make our own second date update videos of some of our more popular segments, and you can link to all these different features on our show. Then if you scroll down a little bit more, we have a featured video that we change out from time to time, and this was a band video that we had. And then scroll down a little bit more after that, and this is where we have our blog. This is where we post things that are something that people are talking about, like how much we raised in our radiothon, or a silly novelty song that we recently did. We made a video of it. Or our 10,000 for the troops, our final count of how many cards we got for our 10,000 for the troops. This is all posted on our blog. And here's something important, by the way, about blogs. Your blog on your webpage, on your station site, should be about you and your show. Not about silly cat videos or celebrities who look good on the red carpet. If your program director wants you to post those videos, ask him if you can post them somewhere else. That's what we did. We actually created a whole site on the front page for those videos and those posts. But people are going to your webpage on your station site to find out about you, not about silly cat videos. So that's what needs to be on your webpage. Your blog on your webpage needs to tell your story. In fact, that's the point of all this. You need to tell your own story. If you wait for somebody else to tell your story, it's just not going to happen. And you have all the tools in front of you. You have station websites and station Facebook pages and your own social media sites, all to tell your story. So let's recap of the 5 things that you can do to help tell your story. Number 1, get a logo for your show. Number 2, get a photo of your show. People want to know what you look like. Number 3, post content from your show. Number 4, share your content. Post about it on Facebook, on your station's website. And number 5, improve your station webpage, because that's where people are going to go when they Google you to find out more information about your show. And last but not least, remember always, tell your own story. If you have any questions, any comments that you want to share with me, my email address is down below, and I would love to hear from you.